There's so many things we could share.
Yeah.
But...
What to choose?
Should we pick one? What to choose? Should we pick one or should we go back and forth? Because I also didn't tell you that I have a story, but it's not as cool as yours.
I like stories, though.
All right, I'll tell mine quickly, and then I think yours is a good kind of home run.
Oh, God. Okay.
So my story is, we do Thanksgiving. We're behind, listeners, and we're not smart to figure out how to talk in the future, so this is just where we are. Thanksgiving just happened. And the day after Thanksgiving, I was like, I booked a massage.
Girl, I love that.
It was great. And I met up with a friend. Shout out to Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Who has a little babe, and I couldn't believe it was going to come out. And I was like, imagine Alana Glazer coming out of that massage, skipping, like doing backflips.
Rihanna, Ilana.
I was
do a cartwheel into a woman who goes in a trash can. Yep.
Time of my life. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't wait. I'm a block away from the restaurant, and there's kind of this like large crowd kind of like piling together because there was a bus stop there. And I was like, well, I'm just going to bounce around them. And I rolled my ankle and fell in the middle of the street, and
Madonna, Rihanna, Ilana.
And all of the presents I had for Stacy and her new baby went flying across the street. And then I grabbed onto a man I don't know and said, help me. And
oh my God!
As I've gotten older in my life, I'm less embarrassed and more like, is my foot still there? And then I just grabbed this man to help me get up. And then no one knew what to do because they're like, this person is a hot mess. And then I collected all my gifts.
Oh my God.
And then I hobbled the next 2 streets to the restaurant, and another man said to me, and I think this is what you should say to someone if you see them fall the way I did, which is, I hate it when that happens. That's story.
Actually my go-to response when kids tell me something that upsets them. Like, they'll be like,
really?
Johnny took my pencil. And I'm like, I hate when that happens. Man.
Well,
Doesn't that stink?
I was just like, yeah. And then because, Stacy's dealing with like pregnancy hormones, I came in like kind of teary-eyed crying, and then she looked at me and was like, why are you sad? I just have hormones. I'll start crying. And then I was like, I ruined lunch. I was like, I'm the worst.
Okay, is your ankle okay though?
It's
the important question.
It's okay.
Wow.
But it's like, this is like a thing I've been pretty strong with for a while, but I have really bad ankles. It's really embarrassing. If anyone's just a faller, it is the worst.
Yeah.
Your story's way more fun and uplifting, hence why I thought you'd be a good closer.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised I didn't roll my ankle in my soon-to-be-told story. Because,
oh, God, ain't that the truth?
Listeners, I had a very exciting it was Thanksgiving.
What? It was really exciting. You're downplaying it.
I was like, what day was it? It was Thanksgiving.
What day is it?
I, alongside the Rutgers University Marching Scarlet Knights, which is the band, we marched in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Woo!
In New York. Hoda Al Roker, Savannah Guthrie, the other guy. Those people were there.
Did you throw our business cards everywhere? I forgot to ask.
I didn't.
God damn it, Kate.
I know. I would.
Right.
Here's the thing, Bridge.
Okay, all right.
No sleep for 24 hours.
Okay.
Was not something I would recommend.
No, don't. Okay, I understand.
And in fact, I couldn't tell you another time in my life I actually did that. Probably like at an 11-year-old sleepover. I don't know. Back when you're crazy? I don't know. Who chooses this life? Not me.
I don't know. Yeah.
I wore the same outfit for 24 hours.
Ooh.
Same shoes.
Ooh.
Everything's the same.
Wow.
Anywho, but listeners, it was lots of fun. However, just a tip, little tipsy toodle if you're gonna be in the parade for any reason. Whether if you're on a float, I guess it doesn't matter. This is more for the marchers or the walkers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a fast pace, y'all.
Yo.
You better train for that 5K, because that's what you're about to do.
I was so surprised when you shared that.
Honestly, I might have broke a personal 5K record and not even known it at how fast it went. And my energy was high. It was high up till the very moment they finally ended. And then I was like, and now I'm dead.
Wow.
Now I'm a dead person and I need to go to bed.
Wow.
So, but that was a time. I hope y'all cheered on Are You Rah-Rah Rutgers. Yeah.
Which is a great lead into this movie.
I got so excited when the support your local arts. Support your arts in schools, listeners.
Yeah.
And in college, too. Yeah.
And...
break!
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Thanks for coming back. This is an inspirational one.
Thanks for coming back, just like Rudy came back.
And again, and again, and again, and again. Wow.
Many times. But you know what? We're not Rudy. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Although we do keep coming back, Kate. And back. And back.
Well,
some of us get hit like Rudy every week.
Oh,
Come
God,
back.
Bridget. Not the ankle rolling again.
Oh, no.
All right. I'm going to introduce ourselves, listeners, so you know who we are. So, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Rudy. 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 Rudy.
Rudy.
As always, that will be a joy to line up, but we'll do it.
God.
Bridge, what's the movie?
It's
that we
the
just chanted?
1993, which is the
best year for movies.
Rudy.
Oh my.
Based on a true
God.
story. If you do not shed a tear in this film,
one tear. There will be many tears.
No heart. You have no heart.
I have tissues next to me right now, just in case.
I cried so much that James was like, "Are you okay?" Like, he was like, I couldn't breathe. I cried the entire movie.
I did a couple like sob laugh cries where I was like, "Oh." And I was by myself in my room. So, you know, it hits you the feels.
This held up. And it's oh God. I'm looking up the quotes because I feel like there's 1,000 we could be using.
The speech that he does, I'll just say it now and I know we'll talk about it, but I literally wrote, I was like, oh, here's the speech that Bridget's gonna memorize. It's an inspirational sports movie speech, and that's just how it goes here. This is, Bridge, your synopsis. By the way, take a sip. Let's sip it up. Fill up those tear ducts.
I need to hydrate because
Yes. Dehydration will come.
All his life, people have told Rudy he's not good enough, not smart enough, not big enough. But nothing can stop his impossible dream of playing football for Notre Dame.
Woo!
We are starring Sean Astin.
Woo!
Mikey, Goonies, Sam the Brave, Lord of the Rings, who's Stranger Things, the dad,
Bob Newby. Spoiler alert, he dies. Yeah.
Every film that Sean Astin is in, he is inspirational. I am now convinced Sean Astin is inspirational.
Maybe not in 50 First Dates. But, like,
sure.
You know, yeah. Besides that, yes. The answer is yes.
This is a surprise appearance by Vince Vaughn, his first movie.
Okay, wait! I literally thought I was losing my mind because at the end, when they're wearing their football helmets and you could just, like, kind of just see their face, I was like, is that Vince Vaughn? But, Bridge, you know me, sometimes I also need to fact check myself because I was convinced the second coach was Billy Bob Thornton. Is that true?
No, it's not.
God damn it!
A guy
I always
that looks
do
like
that
him.
to Billy Bob Thornton.
It's a guy that looks like him.
Okay, it's that guy.
There's Jon Favreau is a big
Yes!
he's the bestie to Sean Astin, but the story is this also is a little bit of a different feel for me because they grew up in the south side of Chicago, so he was throwing out some Chicago things, and I never knew that when I was younger because we lived in Jersey and I didn't care about Chicago.
I didn't know this was Chicago.
Yeah, now that I'm in Chicago, I'm like, oh yeah. Well, I think he's from the south side, so he could be in like the outskirts or the burbs or whatever, but it's somewhat closer to Notre Dame in there, whatever.
Pause.
Yeah.
Geography question.
Indiana.
Okay, I've been there.
Illinois, Indiana.
Uh-huh.
South Bend, Indiana.
It's cold.
It's cold, Kate.
Okay.
We're not talking Florida.
I'm
okay?
so sorry.
We're talking Midwest. Okay.
That's up north.
I'm going to need you to Google this while we talk.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
So his family, they don't have a lot of money. It's a lot of brothers. The father is very much tough love. And Rudy's the youngest. He's always the smallest. And right from the start, we see nobody takes him serious. He's not great in school. He's not athletic. He just is a dreamer. Yeah. And the difference between, I would say, like a typical dreamer character is he has the most grit of grit.
Yeah.
And so all he has is heart. And throughout the film, you just hear how everybody loves him because he's got heart and he never gives up. And he has these big moments in his life where he goes to high school and you see that he actually tries to visit Notre Dame in high school. And
that,
oh my God.
So sad.
It was so sad.
I hated that priest.
Oh man, he goes to a Catholic school and a priest takes him aside and says, you don't have the grades for Notre Dame. And, he kind of, in a way, believed a lot of the things about him. And he ended up working at like a mill with his dad and brothers after high school, and his best friend it's really sad that he dies so early. What was his best Frank, right? Pete.
Frank was his brother who was a little bitch.
Okay, yeah. So the only person, his best friend who believed in him, dies in this like freak accident at the plant, and this sets him off where he's like, this is it. If I'm ever gonna do Notre Dame football. Now he did play football in high school, which I liked. He didn't just like make up football. He actually played and was not the best of the best, but he didn't suck. And in order to get there, he has to go through these like multiple tiers of effort.
Oh my God. It really felt like video game, like
it was crazy.
Kind of storyline where it's like, first we gotta do this to get to the next chapter.
First, he's got no money and nowhere to live. Then he goes to community college. Then he tries to get the best grades in community college. He keeps applying to Notre Dame. He finally gets into Notre Dame. Then when he gets in, he has to try out for the football team, and he's basically the practice team all the way until the end, where we will go through the details, but the heroic story, and this is the true story part of it, is he gets dressed for one game, and he goes on the field for like 7 seconds. And again, if you don't cry, every single person has to connect with this. I do not care if you were the smartest, most athletic person of your life. There is no way you have not gone through life where somebody said, you can't do this, you're not good enough, it won't work, and then you do, because you're awesome, listeners, because you listen to us, and you're awesome!
The sack at the last second! I screamed.
So it's just, now the true story part, there's definitely some like movie fabrications I read about, but all in all, that's really what happened. And he's just, you can't not love Rudy. You can't not love Rudy.
Everybody loves Rudy. Okay. It's
what
beautiful.
did I miss? I know there's stuff in between. Let's just go for it. I might cry as we talk about it.
I'm emotional as well. However, I was not emotional when we start off with drumline beats. I was like, hell yes, at the college atmosphere. And then I'm not gonna lie, Bridge. I mentioned this. I definitely have seen the ending of this movie with the football game and the cheering and the blue to blue. That I've seen. I don't know if I've ever fully seen the rest of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't know where we were going, when we were going there, who we were going with.
You're like,
I didn't know
when
anything.
are we going to play football?
I'm like, is there football in this movie? But the movie, when it starts off, I did have an immediate flashback to, sorry guys, Little Giants, because it's the older brother playing football with the younger one. And
You'll
he's
thank
like,
me later.
he's like, you suck at football. Anyway, let's grow up and run Pee-wee. They don't say that, but they could.
Listeners, we all know who Frank is in Katie and my lives. And John, if you're listening, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And that did happen when we were children.
Yep. Pushed our face in the snow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, now that you say Chicago, because I don't know where we were. I was like, it's all I know is it's cold.
We know you never know where we are.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Unless it's New Jersey.
The cat's out of the bag, guys. I wasn't sure where we were. But
is
and
Europe?
clearly, this is also taking place in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah. I think this was 1973 was what the story is about.
There's literal middle school age children, and the dad's like, "You better get a job at the steel mill." And I was like, "No, child labor laws. Oh no, they weren't invented yet." Yeah. So that's just, I don't know, just the setup. And little Rudy loves Notre Dame because his dad loves Notre Dame. Question mark?
Yeah, I think,
where the love started?
Well, I think we grew up with, the Jets, and the Mets.
Unfortunately, we did.
Yeah, we did. And the obsession.
Now we're stuck with them.
And I think just this idea of, you love that team, and I don't know. Not everybody has families like that, but it's I get that. And if you're a son of a dad who you're really never getting love from, it's you could see how he kind of attaches to that. Which, by the way, in the true story, I think the dad was actually super supportive. And the brother, Frank, didn't exist in the true story. This is
Thank God.
This is movie magic,
Jesus Christ.
But
well, we don't stick with them young kids because there's a couple cuts. This is a big cut where we cut from 8-year-old Rudy to senior year of high school Rudy. Mm-hmm. He is a football player, and it's their last practice.
Yeah.
And, it's just I don't know, let's celebrate our last practice, and that's kind of sad. And he's like, it won't be the last for me, maybe, but it kind of is for a while, but maybe.
I mean, I think at this point he was so in the beginning of the movie, he's I definitely want to play Notre Dame football, but he didn't actually believe it, he was oh yeah, I'm gonna play there one day, but you could tell he didn't know how to put action behind it.
Yeah, most teenagers don't, I feel like.
Yeah, the whole movie he's a dreamer, and because let's face it, if he was putting action towards it, he would be getting A's.
Right.
He would be trying to be the best football player, blah blah blah. He just he took a back seat in life, but he knew where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so you kind of liked him because he was a little doofusy in the beginning, and then he's got this girlfriend that he's she's not my girlfriend, and then she's yes, I am, and then
that confused me. I was Rudy, why don't you know who's your girlfriend?
Well, I think he was just kind of being, a boy who was embarrassed, but
LOL.
His best friend Pete is the one that you get, which is so smart. The movie does is Sean Astin doesn't talk about how awesome he is. Yeah, everyone else around him does, which is why you like him because he's not this arrogant, annoying person. And Pete, for his birthday.
Stop. That was the first tear that shed for sure.
Gets him a Notre Dame, college, varsity jacket because he just found it at a store. And
he said, it's it was made for you, Rudy. I was ah! By the way, that's another 4-year time jump is that moment.
Crazy.
So now it's it's been 4 years since high school. He did not go to college. He's been working at
the mill.
It does give Terminator 2 vibes. I'll just say it now.
It's awful.
There were no T-1000s, thank God, but there could have been, It
could have been the same scene.
You could splice them in. Sarah Connor could be in the background for all we know. And
she was doing pull-ups in the background.
It's the same movie. So, yeah, they really are the best friends, and I love that. And then, what is Pete? I have a line here. Pete says this. He goes, because Rudy's what's the use of dreams if I don't do them, whatever. And then Pete says, having dreams is what makes life tolerable. And I was that's super sweet. I love that.
Sweet.
also being creative can like fill that void as well. And here's where my questions started to come up. Not about location, but was Rudy married? Was he married?
So
or was it a girlfriend?
It was a girlfriend, but they were at the point where you hear that he said he saved up $1,000.
Yes, and he's like, I did that for Notre Dame.
Yeah, he did it for Notre Dame, but then his girlfriend's like taking him for house hunting, and she's like, I found the perfect one. And she goes, I've been patient with you. Like, it's my turn. Are we gonna get married and get a house? Like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Oh.
So they were never married yet, but I think the intent was, you saved up money, like, you know. And honestly, Rudy should not have gotten married. Like, that was a good
thank
move.
God. Well, that's why I was like, if they're married and he just like dips out
at
one point and it's like, deuces, like, I gotta go, I would be like, what? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But that makes more sense. They were
and then later on in the movie, when you learn that she dates his brother, then you're like, what is wrong with this girl?
Yeah,
and also,
you know
what's
what?
wrong with your brother? Ew.
Honestly,
Katie. If any man you dated was like, hey, Bridge, do you want to hang out? There absolutely never in my life, no offense, like the idea of like like who dates, like if your brother dated someone, why would you date them? Ew.
It's icky. I don't like it.
I could never. The sisters would never.
Never. Everyone I dated was a scrub.
I mean, the same.
Also, Bridget's
my husband,
married, so it'll never happen.
But just the idea of it, you know what I mean? So then you like hated her, and even if he was kind of jerky for, I guess, kind of stringing
that brother
her
though
along,
wasn't the jerky brother. The jerky brother was Frank.
Yeah, Frank sucked.
Frank's like just a little piss poor baby bitch who complains about life, and Rudy's like, he's just depressed and complains about his life and like whatever. And then Pete calls out Frank in a bar.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and he's like, you suck. You weren't as good a player. You didn't have the heart like Rudy had, and like all the coaches used to talk shit about you, and like blah blah. And then they get in a bar fight, and like that's drama. That's some Degrassi level drama. Whatever it takes.
It was so dramatic, and every scene where there was some sort of conflict, you would see Rudy's dad go, "Good job, Frank," and then, come on, Rudy. So he favored Frank. Very obviously.
That was an angry scream, not a sob scream, but I did yell at that part. I was like, no, don't blame Rudy for that bullshit. I'm over it. But, Bridge, it's fine, because immediately from that scene is where we are in the steel mill.
I can't.
And here's my progression of notes. I go, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, no. Can we please not have a death, please? Oh, no. I feel a death coming. Pete, no! Pete literally blows up like an action movie.
You didn't remember any of this?
No.
Oh, man. I have this movie, like, memorized.
I didn't know Pete was well, I mean, it was a little foreshadowy where I was like, someone's gonna die. It's not Rudy, and I only see two people on screen, so it's gonna be Pete. Oh, no.
Pete, oh, God, even when they were little kids and Rudy did the speech and he looked up and he would mimic the words,
so
like,
sweet.
Yo, Pete was Sam the Brave to Sean Astin. You know?
It's a flipperoo. You're right.
And can you imagine Elijah Wood losing Sam the Brave?
No.
Your world turns upside down. He's not going to Mordor. He's not
making it. He's getting eaten by the spider. Yep.
No. So, first of all, every moment I've cried so much. And then I'm in, like, sobbing. Can't breathe at this point.
Oh.
And at the funeral, you could tell he can't take it, so he has to leave the funeral early. And the girlfriend, he's like, this is it. It's now or never. I'm going to go to Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's like, bye.
I'm going to go for it. And she goes, well, that means, like, I'm not coming. And he's like, yeah, I know. So then they break up. Which
he's like, thank God I'm saying goodbye to you because you are a big walking red flag, lady.
Well, I kind of wanted to be like, can you give the guy a moment? His best friend just died, you know? I'd be like, go off to Notre Dame, honey. Like, I understand, you know?
I did wonder, though, if that was what was happening. But then when he came home, the next time he comes home is, like, around Christmas. And that's when he sees her dating the brother. And then I was like, oh, JK, we broke up,
Awkies.
All
right, now let's talk logistics. So he gets on a bus. He gets there at like 4 a.m., which reminds me of your Macy's Day Thanksgiving preparation.
God, the trauma.
And he goes, where's admissions? Now, we're talking the 70s, folks. So there's no Google. There's no internet. Okay? So
That is fair.
Don't
That's
tell me
fair.
he's like a big old ding dong. This is how shit used to work. Okay? And so
Yeah.
he rolls up and he's like, where's admissions? I gotta get this show on the road. And they're like, sir, it's 4 a.m. Talk to a priest. And this cracks me up because intertwined in all of this movie is like religion and prayer.
Ugh, it's so weird.
But they don't put
It's not like preachy.
in a good. Well, they don't put the Catholic education system in a good light because the teachers always suck and are mean. But the priest is nice, and this priest is supportive. He's like Notre Dame's church priest. Which, by the way, can you imagine the stories that priest hears from college?
Jesus. Yeah, he also was the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire, and I said, "Hey, guy from Mrs. Doubtfire, hi, how are you?" I'm grateful they gave us like little moments of giggly silliness.
We needed it.
You had to take breaks from the tissues, and one of the giggly moments is when he meets this priest, and the priest is like, everyone thinks they want this life, but I don't know. And he's like, I just came for my best friend's funeral, and he's like, you see what I mean? Like, some people make rash decisions, and he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you're gonna become a priest, right? And I'm not kidding, Bridge. I for a moment was like, is he becoming a priest? Is that going to be his in to Notre Dame? Because that's a weird door to go through. But thank God we didn't.
We did not.
Thank God I was sweating.
No, he's like, I just want to go to school. And then everyone continues to give him the same answer, which is, well, do you have grades? And he's like, no. And they're like,
yep.
Now, here's the thing. There is no getting into college now, which is so absurd, right?
Yeah.
Back then, it seemed a little easier to get into, no offense, it seemed a little easier to get into Notre Dame.
Well, it's just based on like grades and potentially legacy stuff, It wasn't like extracurriculars or volunteer.
Or like 6 years of creating your own nonprofit and changing the world, which is like how absurd it is now. And the guy goes, I just got you in a Holy Cross, which by the way, I know some people today would like kill to get a Holy Cross. And the priest is like, I got you a favor.
Yeah, he's like, I met you 2 seconds ago. Now you're going to school on my name. Here we go.
I was like, wow, that's the part that I'm like, okay, whatever. It's the 70s. This is where we meet Jon Favreau. This is which is the best. This is the best.
I mean,
buddy system.
We needed to fill the void of like hype up best friend, like hype man.
And
Jon Favreau's like, here I come. Because I'm
so
ready to go.
So Jon Favreau, his stories, he's like super brilliant, smart. He has already like basically graduated from Notre Dame and he's a TA trying to get into law school, but he cannot get the ladies. And
he's got no game. He's got no game.
I think as the young kids call it these days, Riz. Is that correct?
It says no Riz, yeah.
I am
fucking
old.
Don't.
But here's the thing. I think asking Rudy is funny because I don't know if like Rudy has swagger. I don't know. But he sees one incident that some girl was like, hi, and smiling at him. And he was like, hey, so
you're a ladies' man because one girl spoke to you. For a minute. So.
Yeah. And that relationship is like beautiful because basically over 2 years, they become really close. He tutors him.
Yes.
And then he tries to like introduce him to ladies. I loved it.
And Jon Favreau does meet a lady.
He does.
And her name is Elsa. And one of the best parts of the movie is that he later marries her. And I love everything about that story.
Everything.
Yes.
It was
like
perfection.
Their relationship could be its own like rom-com that I would like to see. I'm not gonna lie, but
oh my God, I would watch that. Rudy
Wouldn't
too.
You? And Rudy's just in the background randomly. Yeah.
No, you see Rudy giving like the wedding toast, and you're just like, Diva!
He just does the Notre Dame speech, and Jon Favreau's like, thanks, I guess.
So like Rudy has psychosis since his one. That relationship was great because then we got to see Sean Astin try to enter other worlds, like meet girls and do like fun college things and try to go to parties and this and that because he can't really like be crazy working hard with football yet because he's like, I will at least have a semester to know if I got in, Right. So he was really kind of had this period of like, all I have to do is like book smarts. Like he got to focus on one thing at a time. And the movie did this, I think, pretty well. But he got like all B's and 1A and he brought the report card home to his dad and he was so proud. But I don't know. Then the old girlfriend was dating the brother and he was like, F you guys. And he just kept not getting in to Notre Dame.
Yeah, and also throughout, he does try to, like, I don't know, almost like get his foot in the door in whatever possible ways. So he like busts into the coach's office.
Love it.
And it's just like, my name's Rudy. It's actually the name of the movie. That's about me. Hello. Welcome. I'm gonna play here one day. That's it. See ya. And the coach is like, bye? What? And then he like sneaks onto the field, and Bridge, this is where we meet, might be my favorite character, and I didn't know his name until right now. His name is Fortune.
Amazing.
Why is that the name? I can't tell you. But he is, what would we call that? He's like in charge of the upkeep of the stadium? Is that
like
the title? Like a maintenance guy?
Yeah, like landscaping, like all the field maintenance.
Yeah, for the stadium. And then Rudy's like, hey, I talked to you once, so can I work here? He's like, I just want to be in the stadium. Can I like have a job? And the guy's like, sure, get over here. And I was like, yes.
But this is what I loved about his character is like, he wasn't just like, oh, I'm in the stadium, I want to just do it. He was willing to work. So then the guy's like,
he did want to work.
He was like, what? Leave me alone, kid. He's like, I'll work for free. I'll do whatever. And he's like, Jesus Christ, don't work for free. I'll give you. Oh, he's like, oh, God damn it. I'll give you a
Fortune
goddamn
had
job.
Good advice. I'm not going to lie.
It was incredible. And when we get to that one speech, I'm gonna say that speech.
I cried at that one. Yep.
But to your point, he was even introducing himself to the coach. He kept, I mean, honestly, he's a true manifester. He kept telling people what was gonna happen.
All he was missing was a vision board. Okay,
he had a vision board. We didn't.
All right, never mind. He had a vision board.
It was definitely there. I believe it. He was so powerful. He had crystals under his bed. He was lighting candles. Well,
he didn't
praying.
have a bed for a long time, which was another part that I was
that
like,
was Aki's.
Is Rudy need like welfare? Because I'm nervous.
He did. I don't know how he was eating.
I don't know.
But he was, and somehow made it work. And every angle, even to the point of a booster club that paints the gold helmets, and he couldn't believe you could be a part of that.
24 karat gold in the gold. This is where if I was part of the booster club, I would be like, are you fucking kidding me? We're gonna donate this paint to like the nonprofits. This is outrageous. Yellow is just as good. It doesn't need to be 24 karat.
Rudy's like, who brought her?
Yeah, he's like, kick her out. Jeez. Rudy's not in that club very long though, because he outs himself and he's like, I'm not a Notre Dame student. And the girl's like, you can't be part of our club. Like, get the fuck out. And then he's like, wah, I'm sad.
But listen,
you know,
it gets to the point where the math, I believe, was he tried for almost like 3 years, basically.
Yes.
I think get in.
About right. And it was like every semester he would get a letter, and like almost all the letters were like, nope, you didn't get it.
I think it's every year. You apply once a year.
Is it? I thought it was every semester.
I mean, maybe, but in my head, he was like, this is the last shot. They don't take senior transfers.
Oh.
So I thought it was like freshman year.
I understand.
Sophomore year, junior year. And maybe the timeline was like faster, but it made sense in my head. It's like, oh yeah, you apply to college like once a year. And either you get in or you don't. And so when he got in, Kate, oh my God, it was like the end of the rope. You didn't even believe he was going to get in.
I cried, number one. Also, there was beautiful music and scenery when he finally got his letter, and now he's crying on a bench, and we're all crying. However, before we cry, I do just want to bring up a point where the first rejection letter he gets real fucking upset. And he has like kind of like a little moment where he's like, maybe I'm gonna give up, or I don't know. And he goes to Fortune Bridge. Fortune was the real MVP of this fucking movie. He goes to Fortune and he goes, this whole year felt like a waste. And then Fortune's exact immediate response is, don't be wasting my time with that. And I was like, Fortune, that's correct, because he's had a little pity party, and Rudy cannot be pity partying. He's got to be partying. And then he has his little montage of like study, running and working out on my own, study, running, working out. And
very Rocky Balboa.
It really was, yeah. But oh my God, he finally gets in, and then he tells his dad.
He runs to the mill.
Yes.
Tells tells his dad.
Oh my God.
His dad, for literally the first time in his life for 24 years or whatever, is proud of him.
Yeah.
And announces it to the whole mill. And I could cry right now thinking about it.
My son's going to Notre Dame. I was like, so beautiful.
And then he let his dad keep the letter, and that made my heart explode more, because then the dad meticulously put it back in the envelope.
Yeah, it was special.
What's so cute about it is just to get into Notre Dame was basically 75% of the movie. And then you're like, oh wait, it's a football movie.
Yeah, okay, hold on now.
We gotta,
Tiger.
And so he immediately is like, I'm in, and it's go frickin' time.
Yeah, we cut right away to tryouts.
Ooh.
And he is what's considered a walk-on, which means he was not recruited.
You know what?
Means he just rolls up. Oh, Bridge, yes.
No, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Explain.
Oh,
Sorry,
I thought you had strong
going.
feelings to say about walk-ons.
I kind of do have strong feelings about
Tell
walk-on.
me.
When I played in college, we had one walk-on.
Okay.
And it's not a lot of people come to tryouts.
Yeah.
To walk on. I think probably because they're intimidated, all the big recruiting process, and, you have to be the best of the best, but it's anyone can show up.
Sure.
I almost wish more people would.
Guys, this is your moment.
Yeah.
If you were sitting in your room listening to Sisters Who've Seen It and thinking to yourself, I'm going to go play football for Notre Dame, this is your moment.
We are not liable for any injuries, et cetera, et cetera.
Break a neck, it's not our fault. Yeah.
No, but I think just in general, and so he shows up, he's, as Fortune quote, 5'0" nothing.
Sure
100
is.
and nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful because the one coach, had his back, the offensive lineman coach.
Yeah.
Who was
oh my God.
Coach Yanto.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming he was the defensive coach because Rudy was a defensive player.
I thought he was the offensive coach.
He was, Rudy played defense, so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know. I just made my own connection, so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Iceberg Goldberg, I don't know.
Hey, yo.
But, okay, so basically we see a montage of the tryouts, and yes, Rudy does get his little booty kicked a couple times, but he's got heart, Bridge. If he was in Captain Planet, he'd be the person with the heart ring. That's Rudy. He's not any of the other elements. He's just heart.
Okay, I'll tell you this. So you're a coach, right? Flip your brain.
Yeah.
You're obviously this kid is gonna get killed. But he kind of keeps getting up, and some of these bad attitude players, he's this guy could maybe get some people going. It's
Listen,
the personality hire,
I am all about personality hires, and especially if it's you got a can-do attitude. I would rather take that than someone who's a little complainer, but they're really great. I'm no, because I could teach you to be great, or we could at least get somewhere if you got the good attitude. If you got crap attitude, I can't help you.
Well, and when you really think of every football team, the starting team has to have a team to play against in practice, right? And he was third string, basically.
I believe
and so. They knew that he would just be so grateful to be there. He's not trying to start, he wasn't going to be annoying or anything like that. He's he's kind of a dream player. The only fear I think that they had was this kid's going to kill himself.
Well, and I love how the head coach goes to the other coaches and they're all like, what about Rudy? What do you think? And the head coach was literally I don't care. So somebody else decide. Shoo. And
wow.
you're okay, cool. And then the coach literally goes to Rudy and he's like, all right, you did it. Go team. And Rudy is so excited.
Oh my God.
It's the best thing ever because then he just starts basically he tells people and he's if I dress, which means if he gets to put on an actual uniform and play, which not all the players get to do.
Yeah.
He goes, you gotta be there. And Bridge, he says it to Fortune. And Fortune goes, if you ever dress, I'll be there. And that was when I wrote immediately crying. Immediately waterfall crying. God damn it.
Because he's there, Kate. He's there when it's the moment.
Freaking there. Oh, so beautiful. And then just more montages of Rudy getting the crap kicked out of him. But there's a scene, I liked this scene where they're in practice. Rudy does a great play. He's defense, he gets through, he sacks the quarterback. It is practice, but he did it. And the QB starts freaking out.
That's Vince Vaughn, by the way.
I cannot believe
that's Vince Vaughn.
That's
all
baby
Vince
now.
Vaughn.
That is so wild. Vince Vaughn's like, what the fuck is your problem? It's practice. Basically, like, relax. Like, you're annoying. Stop. And then the coaches are like, everyone else needs to get to Rudy's up here. You're all down here with the energy. We gotta like level it out and like get up there. And this is where Rudy earned some respect from some of his players, his teammates, because the one guy who was like a lineman basically was like, Rudy, why do you do that? And Rudy's like, why don't you do that? And I was like, right. That's right. And then the guy's like, whoa, you blew my little mush brain. Like, my life is forever changed, Rudy. Thank you. And then they're friends. And you're like, that's beautiful.
Well, and there's some scenes that are really good. Like, one really big guy almost knocks Rudy out. And then the next play, he tries to not hit him. And then Rudy loses his shit. And he's like, hit me! He's like, if I don't do my job to be the best, then you don't have anyone to practice against to be the best. And just like, seeing someone, which is like the worst analogy, but like clean a toilet so perfect.
Wow.
And then you're like, why do you care about your shitty job? And they're like, because
Literally.
I have some goddamn pride about cleaning a toilet. It's like, I don't know, you can't not respect that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, their argument was like, Rudy's too enthusiastic. I'm like, that's a weak argument in court, guys. You're not going to win the court case. I'm just saying it now. You're not going to do it.
In the era of Taylor Swift just being everywhere and anywhere all the time, I feel like she had a tremendous quote on this. Where
on
she
Rudy?
was like,
what?
No, I'll tell you. She goes, one of the worst things is when someone makes fun of you for being excited about something.
Oh, which happens to women a lot. So hooray for us.
Well, and it's like, we've all felt that. I mean, listen, this entire movie, I was like, yep, did that. Yep, said. Yep, I've experienced that. Like, everyone has had to experience this at some point in their lives.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of also, if you're like, if you have a strong moral compass too, no one is ever gonna like really F with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're just doing all the right things.
Right.
They can't even get mad.
Yeah.
But then we get to senior year. And he asked the coach, hey, just one game. I don't have to play. Just can you dress me one game? And the coach is like, you fucking got it, kid. I got you.
Absolutely, Rudy.
And then the coach quits.
Then Billy Bob Thornton, who's not Billy Bob Thornton, comes on in, and I'm confused. Also, I must have had a lot of confusion at this part because I also wrote a note that says, is Rudy's name Rudy Ruettiger? And then I discovered his first name is not Rudy.
It's Daniel.
Daniel.
It's Dan. Yeah.
And Rudy's better name to chant than Daniel. Okay, so
Absolutely.
I'm glad we went with that.
Absolutely.
Life. But yes, we get Billy Bob Thornton. I'm sorry, it's not Billy Bob Thornton, but it's a new coach who doesn't know the agreement, or he doesn't care, or we don't really know. But now it's unsure if Rudy's gonna get dressed.
Well, and the old coaches are still there, so it's not like the whole crew left. So
that's true.
And the players remember it, and so we go back to as if he's trying to get back into Notre Dame.
It does feel like that. He keeps checking the list.
He checks
There's a list, yeah,
and he's never on the list.
The games, I'm assuming, that's what it was.
You know what this movie did well too is like you saw another player that had kind of a bad attitude that was also on the practice team, kind of hated it, but then like Rudy inspired him to be like better at it and like have hope.
Yeah.
We need hope!
We needed it.
So you get to see all these like multi-dimensional angles, but this was where Rudy like kind of breaks because he's like, man, I got this far.
Oh,
and
God.
You're telling me I'm not even gonna make it.
They're swelling. The tear ducts are swelling.
Should I hit you with Fortune's quote?
I feel it happening. Well, can we just set up that Rudy is sad and he literally is like, I quit. And then everyone's like, you can't fucking quit. You're Rudy. And he's like, I quit. And then Bridget goes to Fortune. Or he stands sadly in the stadium, and Fortune's the best. He doesn't even fucking say hi. He goes, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at practice. I love him so much. And then that's when Rudy was like, I quit. And Bridge hit me with the speech. I'm fucking ready. I got my tissues.
Well, I'll tee up that back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, since when are you the quitting kind? I don't know. I just don't see the point anymore. So you didn't make the dress list. There's greater tragedies in the world. I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad to prove to everyone that I worked. Prove what? That I was somebody. And then the best line ever.
This is the best line.
Fortune. Oh, you were so full of crap. You're 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and hardly have a speck of athletic ability, and you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years, and you were also going to walk out here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't never gonna happen. Now, go on back.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding? If you're not
ovation.
crying,
All right, that was more the quote than I remember. The first half maybe isn't as inspirational, where he's like, Rudy, let me read off all the terrible things about you. But then it gets good.
So it gets really good because then you learn that Fortune actually used to play. He had a bad attitude. He rode the bench. He quit, and he always regretted it. He regretted he didn't finish his football career.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, college athletics is hard. In 4 years, I had 3 coaches, and it's a lot.
One Billy Bob I'm sorry.
Honestly, some of them psychologically were.
Oh,
they
God,
were
not
not
that.
so. But
Okay.
people quit. People transfer schools. It's a tough thing to play at that level for that long, and and you're also still a kid, and not have these kind of dramatic moments where you're like, what's the point? What am I doing? This is stupid. And so then we get to by the way, this next part didn't actually happen, but it's amazing.
Well, it was good for the tears. I'll tell you that.
It was great for the tears.
Let me tell you about the tears.
It's the last game, and as you said, Billy Bob Thornton ain't budging on letting him play. And so the captain comes in, and he goes, Coach, I want Rudy to take my spot.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, Bridge. You actually skipped some tears because
okay.
First we go to practice that he said he wasn't going to go to because he quit. And at that practice, I don't know who the fuck it is, some player sees Rudy, says no words, and just as I did before, starts a
slow clap.
We just interrupt practice for a goddamn slow clap, and it's a beautiful thing. And then the one coach is like, thank God you're here, Rudy. Okay, sorry, that's just one set of tears, but yes, then we are at the game.
Well, then
we're leading up to the game.
We're leading up to the game, and then he goes, you're the captain and star of the team. You're not being replaced by Rudy. And then the next player comes in, and then the next player comes in, and they all basically forfeit.
Upstander!
I quote you all the time, Katie. You can't be a bystander. You need to be an upstander.
You gotta stand up for your friends.
So he's forced to put him.
My God.
And the whole team is so jazzed at what they did that they are like, we're going to go crush Georgia Tech. And everything they do, they're like, Rudy, you're the one that's going to run out of the tunnel first. Rudy, you come hear this. Rudy, they're all big brothers.
I love it.
Oh God, it's they did it so well because they got into the perspective you're Sean, you're Rudy. You're hearing it, you're experiencing it. And they even get to, when you get into the game, you see his dad and the brother and the mom.
The dad was literally like, this is the most beautiful fucking thing I've ever seen. And I was like, sometimes I agree at football games. Also, I just want to point out he was looking at the marching band. All right, so you can interpret that scene as you will.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and then you see D-Bop and his girlfriend show up.
Oh, they were fucking hype.
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
Awesome.
It was, so all these people, and then as you say, Katie, Fortune showed up.
Fortune! He didn't even get a seat, by the way. He's just like, fuck it, I work here. I'll just stand under the stadium.
I have the key.
He's like, yeah, what?
The thing that was good about, I thought, how they played his character is like, he was emotional, but it wasn't, you know how like in the movie I, Tanya, like Margot Robbie, like you felt her emotion on her face?
Yeah.
You know, they didn't do that with this. It was very much like he was just as in awe that this was happening to him. And so all of the emotion came from everything else but him.
Yeah.
And he didn't
it was
take
everyone
it away.
around him that was having like the emotions. And if you know football, or if you don't, whatever, obviously there is a point where it will end. So we see shots of the game clock, which is like getting down there. They keep showing shots of the score. Notre Dame is like up by 21. Georgia Tech is like 3. Yeah. Statistically, the chances of Notre Dame losing, no matter whatever happens on the field, is very low at this point. And this is the point where the one player starts the chant.
Wait, no, I want to say something before that. Is the coach goes, play all the seniors, and then the one coach goes, Rudy, and he goes, no, not Rudy, like play of the seniors.
My hurts! It hurts!
He was so
close!
He was so close. Sorry, now go to the player.
Okay, well, like, again, what I would say to that coach is, like, do you know football? Because, like, I could put a monkey out there and we're gonna win the game, so you're a little bitch. You're an ass for that. But the player starts the chant, Bridge. Rudy.
Wait, no. Oh. I'm sorry. But there's an even better moment.
Oh my God.
They are winning so much and they have about like 40 seconds left and they go, we need to score a touchdown and not run out the clock because we have to get Rudy on the field.
We got to get the defense out there.
So
we got to turn over the ball.
So they throw out whatever the play the coach gave and they go for a touchdown. And then the guy after scores the touchdown goes to Rudy and says, that was for you, Rudy.
I kept crying. I was already crying.
Tears are coming. I can't.
There was more crying.
All right, Katie. Now.
Rudy. Rudy. The best part of this, I swear, this chant was going on for like 20 plays. Like, it felt like so long. And the one guy was so persistent. Like, he didn't even speed up. He was like, Rudy. Rudy. And then eventually, the student section joins in. And then eventually, the whole stadium. And the best was when the fucking announcer was like, what are they saying there? It sounds like Rudy. They're cheering for Rudy. I was like, what is happening? But
oh my God. Jon Favreau's like, they're cheering for Rudy. And then the dad and mom are like, they're saying Rudy's name.
Oh my God.
And then Kate,
Bridge,
he lets him on the field.
He goes out and he gets a sack. And I guess the time ran out because we never saw the clock again and everyone lifts him in the air and I guess it's over. Or is it delay of game? We'll never fucking know. It doesn't matter. It's so beautiful.
There has never been
God.
another player since Rudy to be carried off the field. Are you kidding me?
Not including, ambulances and stretchers, but it's beautiful. Yeah. It is.
I can't. If you don't,
tears.
I don't know how you don't bawl your eyes out. I was convulsing, boogers, breathing. Better than any detox, I tell you. That will get it out.
It is definitely on my movies to make you cry list, because we all should have that list, because sometimes you're going to need to cry, and this is now one of them.
It's just, and I thought, okay, it's been 30 years, like, I don't know. They'll probably say some stupid things. It probably won't be as intense. It is. It's as intense. If not, I would argue if not more intense, because a movie like this would not be made today so I've got to tell you too, the real Rudy, in order to pay for this movie, to fund it, to make it happen.
Don't tell me he worked in the steel mill, Bridge, because I can't handle it.
No, he sold the rights to his story.
Oh, wow.
And I think that like big budget film producers like wouldn't bank on a story like this being that inspirational, because Sean Astin was not even that like famous, like it's not like a huge cast.
Yeah. I also think like, I don't know, a story like this too, because it is like, you think it's going to be a mainly football movie, and like you said, it's really not. It's more about like the persistence and determination.
It's like Rocky being a love story. Katie.
Well, love is a strong word, but yes.
It is!
Okay.
This is totally a hope story.
Yes, it is.
And today, honestly, I have so many opinions about this, but like everything that goes on today is all about like making life easier, right? It's like
Sure.
groceries delivered to your door.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a nail clipper. It's coming tomorrow at 4 a.m. Like everything is easier. And this was a movie about everything was hard.
Yeah.
And it just isn't as like valued now, because I think people think sports movies are in its own bucket.
Mm-hmm.
There's like action movies, but nobody really shows like the heart of movies anymore.
Yeah.
So good.
And it was just like realistic too, because it wasn't the type of sports movie where it was like, see guys, it worked out like real quick. And you're like, no, it took this was like a 20-year endeavor.
Oh my God.
If not more. And that's definitely more realistic. Like, it's not like we did the annexation of Puerto Rico and won the game. You know, like that's not what we're working with here. So you got to appreciate that. Very Miracle in that sense of like, it's not going to be what you think, but it's going to be great for what it is. Yeah,
I love it.
Wow. Well, I mean, I already said I'm going to watch it again, but Bridget, are you going to watch it again? Would you watch or don't watch?
I have to breathe before I watch it. I have to let people know I'm okay. And
Definitely
it's just a movie.
Blow your nose before you watch it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, listeners, let us know if you felt the same feels, or maybe we were just emotional people, but wow.
Yeah.
It's on to the next pick, Kate.
Woo!
I'm doing a listener pick.
Yeah.
It's a listener pick. It's a listener pick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull it up, yeah.
Okay.
This was from a while ago.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Hey.
This listener is James, not my husband.
Oh, a different James.
This is another James.
Cool.
Last name F. I won't blow up your spot. The last name starts with an F. James says, "Hey guys, I always look forward to your show each Wednesday. We love you.
We love you.
I wanted to recommend one of my favorites. I will build up to what it is. It's really funny with, I won't say that, and then says a funny joke about a creepy person. Thanks. Okay, and now I'm going to tell you what it is, but you'll get it in a second. So, Kate, you yell at me to be on theme. You know, we know this.
It is December.
And this isn't actually like a holiday film, but I believe there's like snow around.
Okay. Sure.
1985.
Oh.
American black comedy. Film written and directed by, I won't even say that. It stars John Cusack as a high school student who becomes, suicidal after his girlfriend breaks up with him shortly before Christmas.
Oh!
We're watching
season.
Better Off Dead.
Wait, say it again. You cut out, and I don't know the movie. Say it again.
Better Off Dead.
Wow. Never seen it. Better IMDb.
Not reacting.
I'm sorry. This is about someone suicidal, and it's called Better Off Dead. I'm nervous. Oh no. Oh dear.
Okay, your reaction is not great for this listener.
I'm sorry,
James?
I'm reading. After his girlfriend ditches him for a boorish ski jock, Lane decides that suicide is the only answer. Jesus! However, his increasingly inept attempts bring him only more agony and embarrassment. Filled with the wildest teen nightmares. James, blink twice if you need help, my friend. I'm nervous.
Well, James also mentions that it also has a young Dan Schneider in it before he became a creepy Nickelodeon Dan Schneider.
Whoa.
How about that?
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
But it's snow and it's before Christmas in the synopsis, so
yeah,
I made the thing and also helped a listener.
Wow.
Everybody wins.
James, I will be open-minded as best I can. What can I say? I'm looking at photos and I see lots of 80s hair, so I'm ready.
Do.
Have you seen this movie?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Okay.
I feel like I might have seen it, but I don't remember, and we're both just gonna go on a ski ride.
I am ready to ski.
But
Actually, I can't ski, but I'll try. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think you'd figure it out.
Okay.
So, James, we're doing it for you.
All right. Well, Bridge,
Uh-huh.
I just want to say,
Oh, okay.
if you were having a lot of emotions and
Absolutely.
just, I don't want to make up a scenario why you'd be sad, because that's sad. So we'll just say, like, if you're sad, but you have a clogged tear duct, I would put this movie on and fix that right up for you, because you are gonna cry.
Wow.
The tear duct will be fixed. I will have tissues.
Oh.
I will have water for hydration. Probably chocolate as well, because that just goes hand in hand. Am I right? And that's for you, Bridge. And it's also for Rudy a little.
Wow.
Because I love you. Yeah.
Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Kate, I think, wow, I really didn't know where to go with this one. I think as you tell me that you want to pursue your lifelong dream of playing football at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
After you've already graduated and have no interest in it.
Yeah.
And you just, or maybe it's another dream, but it's similar, okay? And you're saying to me, like, I've lost hope. I will go above and beyond to hire Fortune. Send him to your front door.
Thank God.
To yell some sense into you and give you an inspirational speech to then go achieve whatever dream you need to achieve, because I know you needed it.
Oh my God. And then I'll just be like, Fortune, did we just become best friends? And he'll be like, no. And I'll be like, but do you want to be on our podcast? And he'll be like, also no. And I'm
Him
like,
and Kevin Lima are like crickets.
Send me an email. Immediately goes to
God. Oh, God.
Oh, God. We love them either way.
We love you.
Oh, yes. And listeners, if you also will put this movie on your list of movies to watch and to cry.
Do it.
And if you think that Fortune was the best character, and I think
hands
we all need a Fortune in our life. We all need a Jon Favreau character in our life. And we all need a slow clap done for us in our life. We need all of those. Yes. Yes. And was I at 3? I usually do 3 of those and I'm lost now. I was so stuck on the slow clap. I don't know, guys. Just do if you think all that, whatever I said in there, you should write us a review.
Hey.
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. We are now in the month of December, which means wintertime, holiday, la-di-boop. So give us some recommendations, and any recommendation we get goes on a list. We go through the list sometimes, and we'll do it eventually. So that's what James did for our next movie, and that could be you, listeners. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Buy us coffee, which is it's giving us money, and I want to let you know that we spend money. We actually spend money. Like
we do.
It's mostly our time,
believe it or not.
But we have a website for you to request movies, and to pay for that domain and website requires money.
Yes.
Specifically $86 every 2 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay? And I think y'all get together and you do it with us. Sisters. And you just send us money.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. All of you, just give the chant $1 per chant, call it a day. And we have merchandise that you could also buy, and that's another way to do it faster, but then you get stuff out of it. So there you go. Enjoy. Check it out.
Yes. So check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Better Off Dead. ... 3 dots in there.
We'll find out.
The title knows. All right. See you there.
Love you.
Bye. I love you.
Rudy.
Do that for an hour.
Love you.
And then
Love
that's
you.
the movie. Love you.
Cha-ching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.